This is the story of X, written by Ali X, co-written by Lara Castleman, produced by Phi, illustrations by Renata Morales, illustrations and writing done with Octopus Ink. The Story of X, narrated by David Munster, Chapter 1. On a black evening in the charcoal suburb of a grey city, a girl and her shadow were born. The girl's name was Alexandra, Ali for short. Ali and Ali's shadow were the best of friends, inseparable as Siamese twins. At first glance, they looked practically identical. Well, Ali's shadow looked more, shadowy. Her features were less distinct. It's hard to explain using words. Just know that they looked pretty much the same to most people. Their personalities were more obviously different. Ali was a spirited child with long tangled hair and big buck teeth. She was so unusually energetic that her teachers encouraged her to take calming pills. Ali's shadow, on the other hand, was withdrawn, content to sit quietly, entangled in a secret world of dreams and doom. Despite their differences, Ali and Ali's shadow had two passions they shared: singing and spinning. Now, an important singing memory. Late one night, in the quiet of their room, Ali and Ali's shadow awoke from a dream, singing a melody neither had ever heard before. They were overcome by a strange, joyful, terrible, fantastic sadness that could only be described as feeling X. Now back to the story. Ali and Ali's shadow loved to spin. Intertwining their hands, they would wind each other up and lock eyes until the rest of the surroundings became blurry. Then at the exact right moment, they would fall to the floor, lying there. They felt a strange, joyful, terrible, incredible, nauseating clarity that would only be described as feeling X. It only ever lasted for 30 seconds, no more. In an effort to extend feeling X, Ali and Ali's shadow decided to spin faster than they had ever spun. As their surroundings blurred, all of a sudden, they felt a violent force, stronger than gravity and fate, propelling them apart. Ali and Ali's shadow cried out, screaming, and dug their fingernails into each other's wrists like cats on curtains. But there was nothing they could do. They were thrust apart, and everything went silver. When Ali awoke, she found herself alone in her bedroom. Everything looked just the same, but felt strangely different. She was in her bedroom, but the air smelled watery, and the carpet felt sticky. Ali looked longingly for her other half, but her shadow was nowhere to be found. For the first time in her life, she felt alone. She went to the kitchen and tried speaking to her parents, but no matter which way they stood, she couldn't see their faces. She couldn't hear their voices. She couldn't make a connection. Then Ali got an idea. She ran back to her room. She closed her eyes, stood in front of the mirror, and crossed her fingers. When she opened her eyes, staring back at her through the mirror was Ali's shadow. Shedding tears of relief, she grabbed at her shadow's wrists to pull her through the mirror, but her fist just hit against cold glass. Ali's shadow looked at her sorrowfully and walked away. Then the room began to vibrate and hum. At first it was something Ali could only feel, but then the feeling turned into something she could understand, a voice of sorts. Sometimes a gentle tone, sometimes a deep boom. The voice was constantly evolving and seemed to belong neither to man nor a woman. I am the wizard, overlord of X, to whom shadows pay their respects. Ali is among them, and you are on earth, a switch not to punish, but a chance for rebirth. The answer for how shadow and body reunite will be found in the chorus of a song you must write. Allie could feel the dots beginning to connect as the voice washed over her. To the wizard she silently asked some questions. Am I dead? No, you are lost. Lost where? In Shadowland. Does this mean I'm a shadow? You are still partially Allie, but you are only a fragment of yourself. You have exchanged with your shadow. Where is my shadow? In the flesh world. Oh, wizard, I want to be whole. I want to be my whole self again. How will I do this? Out of thin air, an instrument appeared at Allie's feet. It looked somewhere between a church organ and a white spaceship emitting a welcoming light. You must first learn to play the hexachord. You must write songs until one day you write the song that will solve X and reunite you with your shadow. Until then, you will be called Allie X. Allie X, but why? Before she could finish her sentence, the vibration stopped and the wizard was gone. Allie X sat down at the hexachord and touched the keys. Meanwhile, in the flesh world, Allie X's shadow was pretending to be flesh, but it wasn't going very well. Allie X's shadow wanted to have feelings, but she only had the shadow of feelings. As time passed, Allie's parents noticed something was wrong with their daughter. Once a happy and vibrant, she was now quiet and withdrawn, and very difficult to talk to. They noticed she was not growing and losing weight. Her parents tried putting extra mayonnaise and butter on her sandwiches, but it didn't help. She was shrinking. They took her to many doctors, but none could figure out what the problem was. One a light in the darkness, and the other a darkness in the light. Allie X and Allie X's shadow were missing themselves. To be continued.
No.